Starting it too. Okay. I already talked to you guys, but how many of you, any of you here, have ever experienced the healing benefits of hypnotherapy? I go like this. We got a few of you. Okay. And how many of you would say you're a healer, whether it's because people always open up to you or because you're already doing work as a chiropractor, a doctor, a Reiki, or anything like that? Yeah. Okay. Cool. And how many of you have how many of you have ever been in the zone, like that ideal performance state where everything goes so great, you're confident, everything works really well. Miriam, you too? I'm sure you've been in that state. Yeah. Well, guess what? If any of you answered yes, you are this is the right place to be. And if not, we're going to help you to experience hypnosis. There's a couple things I want to share with you today, and some of it is what's going to happen today. We're going to do a whole bunch of different things, but I'm going to really debunk some myths about hypnosis. And I'm also going to hypnotize you, but I also need to prepare you for that experience and let you know exactly what hypnosis is and what hypnosis isn't. And in case any of you guys don't know me, my name is Randi Light, and I've been hypnotizing people now for 19 years, and I've had a school for 9 years. Enlightened Living Hypnosis and Enlightened Living Hypnosis Academy. I'm also going to share with you a little bit about my story because the first time that I was being guided into hypnosis, I did not even believe I was hypnotized. And I healed my chronic neck pain of 10 months, even though my neck is curved the wrong way twice. So I had to pay attention and really listen. So I'll dive into some more stories about me. And I'm also going to share the science with you. Like I said, prepare you for the hypnotic experience. But I want to say, and I already said it before we started, but I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you for coming here today because you took your time. I know it's late for some of you, and some of you are in the same time zone, but either way, you wanted to learn more. You wanted to do something, to experience something new. So I honor you. And as a result of you guys coming here today, I do have some special gifts for you that I'll share with you towards the end of today. All right. So I want to share a little bit about who I am so you have an idea of who I am. But when I graduated from Indiana University, I moved to Portland, Oregon. I didn't want my degree. And so I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I decided I would teach gymnastics because I had been a gymnast. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'll just teach while I'm figuring out what to do with my life. But I had one of those moments that changed my life forever when I was teaching. I was picking up those littles out of the gymnastics pit and all of a sudden I felt this excruciating pain in the left side of my lower back. And I was in pain from head to toe for 3 years on my left side as a result of that, herniated discs, sacroiliac joint moving. But what's really fascinating is I discovered that got me on my path. I had to figure out all kinds of different ways of healing, like figure out ways how to help heal my body. And what also happened was that I tried Eastern, Western, I tried doing, it was probably self hypnosis, but I didn't know what it was back then and different things. And I read lots of books. But when I finally went to a neurosurgeon, I remember him telling me, you're going to have to deal with this the rest of your life. And I was like, and this is way before I'm a hypnotist, but I'm like, I don't think you should have said that. But it worked. I had to deal with it for many, many years. That program, that belief that came out of a doctor's mouth, right? There's a statistic that says 80% of people who go to a doctor and then are given a diagnosis and then a forecast of something accept that belief. Now, I didn't want to accept that belief, but it went right through, formed a belief in my subconscious. And for 30 years, I had many, many back issues and dealing with them. Of course, it improved to a place of tolerance, but it would flare up all the time until I became a hypnotist and then started doing the emotional clearing and healing work. And that was a big part of what helped my physical chronic pain go away. And so that was also very interesting. And during my time in the last 19 years, I came upon Dr. John Sarno. Does anybody know him? Dr. John Sarno? So he wrote a couple books, but one of his books called The Mind Body Prescription. And in his book, he discovered that he had all these people who had different issues in their back, like arthrosis, sclerosis, arthritis, discs bulging, all kinds of different things. But he also noticed that people that had the exact same problem didn't have the exact same pain. So he's like, what's going on here? So he took 2,000 people off the street and did MRIs with them. 2,000 people who had no pain. And all those people also had the same issues, arthrosis, sclerosis, arthritis. They had the same issues, but no pain. So he's like, what is going on here? So he actually came up with a theory that it was unconscious rage. So I'll say unconscious emotions because guilt, all kinds of emotions get stored in the body. And when people read that book, they get better if they accept the theory. When people go through my Essential Four, this is my book, The Essential Four. It's 4 sessions that I believe every person on the planet would benefit from going through. Christy utilizes it, and it takes people's pains away, even though it's emotional clearing and healing and building confidence. It does all these wonderful things. And so I'm just sharing with you a little bit about one of the main benefits about hypnosis is pain relief. Emotional pain relief, physical pain, because what the mind suppresses, the body expresses. And what you're about to discover is what hypnosis really is, because I'm going to share with you that right now. Here's the thing. Hypnosis is actually a normal, natural, common, everyday occurrence that you go in and out of many times a day. Like whenever you get focused on a book, a movie, a project, when you get absorbed in something, your brainwaves slow down and you enter into a hypnotic state. So you can say it's a focused state of awareness, a focused state of concentration, a focused state where you're more open and receptive. So that's the simple version. And I'm going to continue that. And then I'm going to share my screen and show you a couple of other things. But like when you're watching TV, your brainwaves are cycling in a hypnotic state 2/3 of the time. Can you tell you're in a hypnotic state when you're watching TV? You get so focused on what's happening. For some people, they say yes, and some people, they say no. But what's happening is right now, most of our brainwaves are cycling in beta, which is the active thinking, doing brain. But whenever we get focused on a book, a movie, a project, when we get absorbed in something, our brainwaves literally slow down out of beta into alpha. Now, alpha is the light state of hypnosis or a light state of meditation. And really, the main difference between hypnosis and meditation is hypnosis is meditation with a goal, with a purpose. Alpha is also the zone where athletes and performers perform their very best. So being in a hypnotic state is what we want because we don't feel any pain. We're super confident, super focused, and everything goes really, really well. So we've got beta. And then when we get focused on a book or movie or project, our brainwaves slow down into alpha. That's the light state of hypnosis or meditation. And as our brainwaves continue to slow down, they go into theta, which is a deeper state of hypnosis or meditation. And as they continue to slow down, they go into delta. Your brainwaves slow down, and that's sleep. Delta is sleep. So like today, I'm going to guide you into a focused and relaxed state where you're more open and receptive. Your brainwaves are going to be cycling the whole time, but I'm going to keep your brainwaves in alpha and theta because I don't want you asleep and I don't want you having your 60,000 thoughts. I'm going to share my screen and show you some of the more detailed versions of what other people, places, things, like, for example, the Mayo Clinic here. The Mayo Clinic has an overview of hypnosis. And in the purple here, well, we can read it both, but hypnosis is a changed state of awareness and increased relaxation that allows for improved focus and concentration. It is also called hypnotherapy. Hypnosis is usually done with the guidance of a healthcare provider using verbal repetition and mental images. During hypnosis, most people feel calm and relaxed. Hypnosis typically makes people more open to suggestions about behavioral changes. So hypnosis can help you gain control over your behaviors you'd like to change. It may help you cope with anxiety or pain. Although you're more open to suggestion during hypnosis, you don't lose control over your behavior during a hypnosis session. I love that. This is from the Mayo Clinic. I mean, it's like the world is changing, and this is really, really powerful. And for the last 19 years, this is what I have discovered as well. And I specialize in helping people overcome anxiety and depression and insomnia and chronic pain because it's so good for these things. So, the American Psychological Association uncovering the new science of clinical hypnosis with decades of data and new research supporting its effectiveness. Practitioners are embracing hypnosis to treat certain conditions. Actually, the American Medical Association approved of hypnosis in the 1950s, but the pharmaceutical industry kind of took over and we didn't go in that direction, but it's so powerful. So basically, for the short version, it's a focused state where you're more open and receptive, right? And I'm going to keep you in alpha and theta today. But what's really, really cool about hypnosis, besides that it relaxes you so deeply that people's pains literally go away. I'm going to do what's called an induction with you today, and that's a way of guiding people into hypnosis. And it's what I do with almost everyone on the first session. And it takes people's pains away. Not everyone, not all the time, but people feel they're so focused and they're focusing on what I'm saying that they relax. Because the research also says that a suggestion given in a hypnotic state, even one time, can have the same effect as long-term conditioning and practice. Think about that. A suggestion given in a hypnotic state, like from this moment forward, you're so much more calm, confident, and in control. So think about that. That would be a suggestion. And a suggestion given in a hypnotic state, even one time, can have the same effect as long-term conditioning and practice. So that's a powerful and bold statement. So here's the thing. We all think about 60,000 thoughts a day. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. So after hypnotizing you guys today, or after one of my clients leaves my office, whether on Zoom or live in person, what do you do with your 60,000 thoughts? Do you reinforce the neural pathway that we just created? Or does a sabotaging or old part of you override? And the answer is probably both. And that's why it's great to listen to a hypnosis audio to reinforce the neural pathway of you being and feeling more calm, confident, and in control. Does that make sense, everyone? So what's really cool also is that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Like all that's going to happen today is you're going to allow me to guide you into a focused and relaxed state where you're more open and receptive. And Sandy's already ready to go into hypnosis. But here, right now, while we've been talking, you guys are using your conscious analytical mind. You're looking, you're listening, you're analyzing what I'm saying. You can accept or reject what I'm saying, like, oh, that really makes sense. Oh, Randy's a little out there, right? Like that's your conscious analytical mind, and it seems really big and important. But the research says that 95% of our behaviors are subconscious. 95% of everything we do, think, feel, believe stems from beliefs and programs and patterns that are stored in our subconscious mind. So your conscious mind that's listening right now and analyzing can handle and process about 7 things at one time. I would say 2,000 bits of information. So this is the conscious mind, 7 things or 2,000 bits of information. The subconscious mind, let's see if we can get that. So the subconscious mind can process 400 million bits of information in 1 second, every second. So 400 million bits of information, 2,000 bits of information. Your subconscious runs all your bodily functions, and your subconscious has stored everything that's ever happened to you, even when you were in your mother's womb. But those memories get stored there from the perspective of the age you are when the event takes place. So a 4-year-old's version of the world's very different than a 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60-year-old. So if your parents took your siblings or cousins somewhere and you didn't get to go and you're 4 years old, you could draw a conclusion, create a belief that they love them more than you or there's something wrong with you. And that creates a neural pathway, a belief, a program in the subconscious. Your 60,000 thoughts reinforce it, other events reinforce it, and then it can actually lay dormant for a period of time until something turns on that unresolved issue. Does that make sense, guys? Cool. All right. A couple more things that I want to share with you before we go into hypnosis. And so here's one of my favorite things about hypnosis. It's a bridge or a doorway to your subconscious mind. It is a focused state where you're more open and receptive, where we can deliver those suggestions. But hypnosis is also a bridge or a doorway to your subconscious. So we have access to everything that's ever happened to you, and we can program and reprogram your mind and your body for success. Think about that. But there are 5 other ways your subconscious gets programmed besides hypnosis. And one of the ways is whatever you keep saying over and over, whatever you keep repeating over and over, whether you say it out loud in your mind, write it down, whatever you keep repeating forms neural pathways or enhances ones of either what you want or what you don't want. And to me, that's the most important thing that I could say today, is for you to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. Now, that's a kindergarten, like it's a very simple concept, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but it's like an advanced ninja thing to actually implement all the time. I teach this, but when I was going through a divorce, I was like, okay, everyone's like, what do you want? I don't know what I want, and it was hard to make a decision, that kind of thing. So of course something just disappeared and I was like, what happened? There you are. Okay, you're back. And now I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Anyone?
Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want.
The most important thing. I was hoping you guys would say that. So thank you. Yeah. You want to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. It's kindergarten and advanced level. And the more you start to practice it and put it into practice, your life will change. When you catch yourself saying something you don't want instead of what you do want to have or be or feel or achieve, to learn or experience, that when you catch that and you change it to what you do want, like when I give my clients a magic wand when they come in and ask them what they want, and I'd also like to know what you guys want, like why you showed up today. And I'm going to ask you to write it in the chat in just a moment. But when I give them the magic wand and I ask them what they want, I don't want to feel anxious. Is that what they want or what they don't want? Right? Well, if you're not feeling anxious, what do you want to feel? So if you could write in the chat what you would love to leave today's class with, whether it's something that you learned or something that you feel, something that you want to enhance. If you are open to it, write it into the chat and I will actually incorporate it into the hypnosis session as much as possible, whatever it is you want. So do that now, and I'll give you guys about a few moments to do that. Just write in the chat something that you want, and I will incorporate it into the hypnosis session. And I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Okay, there we go. Good. Yeah. Okay, I want to feel calm. Trust the path I'm on. Trust that the universe has given me a gift. Yeah. And so I want to feel calm in spite of the chaos I hear in my home. This is what I'm talking about. So that's the other thing we do. So we either focus on what we don't want or don't like, or we put something with it negative. And I had to train myself to stop doing that. I want to feel calm in my home. I want to feel calm in my home and skip the other part, because as soon as you think that other part, that's where your head goes. That's where your subconscious goes. And then that's what you think about. If you say, I don't want to feel anxious, well, then you start to think about the word anxious, and because the subconscious doesn't understand the word no or not. Thanks, guys. Confidence to jump. And I like that you wrote little things, but when you write things out, um, confidence to jump into the best version of myself, confidence to jump into my next step, and do it and know that there's a landing pad there, right? Okay, great. Thanks you guys for sharing all that, and that'll be really beneficial. So we're back to the 6 ways your subconscious gets programmed. One's hypnosis, another one's whatever you keep repeating over and over. And another one is what other people say to you or around you over and over. What other people say to you around you over and over is the way your subconscious gets programmed. So if there's someone around you that's always saying, oh man, that's so cool. Oh man, that's so cool. Oh man, that's so cool. You go somewhere and you see something cool, well, it pops out of your mouth. Right. And you don't even like to use those words, but the next thing you know, you're saying, oh man, that's so cool. You're like, oh my God. So that's the second way your subconscious gets programmed, whatever you just keep hearing around you. And a third way, besides hypnosis, that your subconscious gets programmed is when we're in a highly emotional state. And I touched on this before. When we're in a highly emotional state, it's as if we do not have a conscious analytical filter. And what someone can say to us can go right through our conscious analytical mind and form a belief in the subconscious or enhance one that's already there. And remember what I mentioned before. So there's that statistic out there that says up to 80% of people who go to a doctor and are diagnosed with cancer and then given a forecast of when they're going to die, that up to 80% will die in the day the doctor tells them they're going to die. That's the power of beliefs. That's the power of subconscious. No one technically hypnotized them, but they're in front of the white coat, an authority figure, and boom, they're in a highly emotional state. They accepted that belief. And what do those people do when they leave the doctor's office with their 60,000 thoughts, right? They walk around, they're like, oh my gosh, I've got 3 months. Oh, I've got 2 months. Oh, I've got 1 month. And then they die right around the day the doctor tells them. And that's the power of beliefs. That's the power of the subconscious. And when you figure out a limiting belief that you have, it's like finding a gem, because then you can change it. But if you don't want to look at it, then it's hard to it's next to impossible to update if you don't know what it is. And another way our subconscious gets programmed is just from being raised by our authority figures when we were little. And if your parents, like for example, didn't like Martians and you heard about it all the time, but you love all people, or you work with these Martians, well, other people's BS, bullshit, and belief systems live in your head about yourself and the world. And remember, hypnosis is a bridge or a doorway to your subconscious. So we have access to everything that's ever happened to you. And we can update those limiting beliefs because other people's BS lives in your head about yourself and the world, and you want to update those. And then, of course, the way that we all know is from the media. Everything we see, hear, feel is all programming us. And that's why you want to watch wisely, listen wisely, carefully, limited. So these are the 5 or 6 ways when you include hypnosis that your subconscious gets programmed. So if the biggest thing that you could do from here is focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, and notice and catch your 60,000 thoughts. And I'll deliver some of that in hypnosis in just a moment. Very soon, I'm going to take you into the hypnotic state. There's something really important I want to share with you. When I'm guiding you into this relaxed state, you want to become aware. And maybe I'll just do the lemon exercise with you guys. Christy says yes. Let's do it. This is an exercise I do with all my clients when they come in, and I also do it in my intuitive activation classes to help you to understand what senses are dominant for you when you close your eyes and imagine. It takes about 2 minutes, but even before we do that, I'm going to show you what hypnosis is like. So we're going to close our eyes together for 30 seconds, just for 30 seconds. Ready? So let's close our eyes. I'm going to keep looking, but go ahead and close your eyes and listen to my voice. And I want to let you know that this is what hypnosis is like. You're just going to be sitting there listening to me. You're going to hear sounds around you. You're going to hear my voice. You're going to remember everything I say like you would in a normal conversation. You might actually feel light or heavy, warm or cool. Most people feel tingly in their hands or feet because that's a sign of hypnosis. But whatever you feel is right for you. There's also time distortion in hypnosis, and 30 minutes can go by, but it just seems like 10. So it's just like this. You're just sitting here listening to me. So you can open your eyes for a moment now. And that's what it's like. For some people, it's way more. Like Christy's already gone. I've hypnotized her, and so my voice, it's an automatic, quick, um, easy access into the hypnotic state. I want to show you what senses are dominant for you just when you close your eyes and imagine, not even when I take you into hypnosis. Before I take people into hypnosis, I ask them if they're ready to go into hypnosis with me. But right now, I'm just going to do the lemon exercise so you can know what senses are dominant for you when you close your eyes and imagine. And it'll take about 2 minutes. Now, I repeat myself because that's a way of programming your subconscious. And that's part of why I repeat myself during classes so that certain things get programmed into your subconscious. But go ahead and close your eyes and take a moment to picture yourself in your home, wherever you are in your home, and nod your head when you have that picture of you in your home. Okay. Now, you don't need to nod or anything, but actually picture yourself walking into the kitchen and notice if it's daytime or nighttime, if the lights are on or off. And then imagine yourself walking over towards the refrigerator. Listen for your footsteps, the hum of the fridge, and any other sounds you might hear when you head towards the refrigerator. And then go ahead and open that refrigerator door. Feel the cold air as it spills out on your face and your body. And whether you usually have one there or not, go ahead and imagine there's a lemon sitting right there. Become aware of that lemon and actually grab that lemon. And feel the weight and the coldness in your hand. And notice the size and the shape and the different colors and textures of the lemon. And then shut that refrigerator door and bring that lemon to where you'd normally cut up fruits and vegetables. Now you can pull out your favorite cutting board and your favorite knife. Now in a moment, you can slice that lemon in half. You can cut it right down the middle or from end to end. If you want to cut the lemon down the middle, let's do that now. And then take one of the halves and slice it again to create a ring and then cut the ring in half. If you want to cut the lemon from end to end, go ahead and do that now. And then take one of the halves and slice it again to create a wedge. Either way, go ahead and pick up that half ring or that wedge and bring it up to your nose and take a deep breath in and smell the lemon smell. Smell the lemon scent. And then go ahead and imagine biting into that very juicy, very pulpy, very sour lemon. And just for fun, go on, take another bite of that lemon and feel the pulp in your teeth and tongue. Taste that super soury, lemony flavor. And then open your eyes. Well, Sandy, I could see you salivating. Anyone else have increased saliva, swallowing, salivating? Yes. And the reason that happened is because your mind and body can't tell the difference between what you're imagining and what's actually real. It didn't know you just made up that lemon exercise. So however you did that great. So I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you would describe what you saw with your eyes as bright and vivid? How about clear or just kind of there? Yeah. So some people are really visual dominant, and most people are looking to be visual, but that may not be your dominant sense. So this was just letting you know that it might have been bright and vivid for you, or it might have just kind of been there, or maybe it was clear. And so you are visual, you can see, it just may not be to the way that you thought you would be. Now, how many of you heard footsteps, the hum of the fridge, or any other sounds? Yeah, so yeah. Many people can't hear. I've gotten better at hearing when I close my eyes and imagine. Nancy's super auditory, and you can tell how people are, but when you close your eyes and imagine, a lot of people can't hear, and you want to just be okay with that. There are some people who are auditory and they hear. Like I can say, imagine a clap, and they hear that clap, but the rest of us, they don't have that. Now, how many of you felt the suction of the fridge or the cold air, the slicing of the lemon or the pulp in the teeth? Yeah. So almost everyone here is what we'd call kinesthetic. So you feel. So when I hypnotize you today, you're going to be paying attention to that as well. How many of you could smell lemon? Yeah, a couple of people. A lot of people aren't, most people are not smellers and tasters. But I love working with the football player who was a kicker, and he was a smeller, so he could smell the grass when he imagined. So that got him into the zone, and he needed to be in the zone when you're a kicker, and he played for Purdue. So how many of you could taste the lemon? Now, I don't mean having increased saliva and swallowing, that you really, really, truly tasted lemon. There are tasters. I always say to people who are tasters, that you never have to eat chocolate again, because all you have to do is imagine eating it, and it tastes like chocolate, and so you're good. You never have to eat it again if you are wanting to lose weight or something like that. Okay? All right. So your mind and body can't tell the difference between what you're vividly imagining and what's actually real. And that's why you had the biochemical physiological response to your own imagination. As much or little as you saw, heard, or felt, you still did great, because your mind and body can't tell the difference between what you're imagining and what's actually real. And remember, I'm saying these things on purpose. I'm repeating because this is a really powerful point. When you're ruminating over something, you're trying to resolve the issue. That's why we do it. But your mind doesn't know that it's not happening right now. Your mind and body thinks it's happening now. So you start to release stress chemicals that make you feel bad. You're trying to resolve the issue, but change what you're focusing on to what you want. When you are, the opposite is true too. When you get into an attitude of gratitude, you release chemicals that make you feel good. You guys got it? Okay. All right. So in a moment, I'm going to take you into hypnosis. You can stay right where you are, but it's going to be a little bit longer than a 2-minute process, so you could get a little bit more comfortable. I see some of the things that you want. Okay, good. And I'm looking at them. Now, the 3 things I also tell people before I take them into hypnosis is if your mind wanders, it's normal, it's common. Just as soon as you notice, bring it back to my voice. And when, not if, your conscious analytical mind pops in, how will you know? I'll be guiding you into hypnosis and you'll be analyzing. You'll be like, am I doing this right? Is this working? As soon as you notice that, tell that part of you to go sit down. I guess I did too much talking today. So as soon as you notice, tell that part of you to go sit down and come back and focus on my voice and what you're doing. There's time distortion in hypnosis, and 5 minutes could have gone by since you had that analytical thought, but you cannot tell because there's time distortion. And one more really important thing, your mind is the creative mind and it knows how to help you be the best you can be. So if I were to say to you, oh, you might imagine a square orange room and into your mind pops a round purple room, go with that. If I were to say to you, oh, you might imagine like post-it notes on the walls and instead you saw daisies or leaves, that's fine. As long as when I ask you to pull off the post-it, you pull off the daisy or leaf. However you're imagining it is right for you. Okay? Everybody ready? Oh, anyone have any discomfort in their body right now? Everybody's body feels good? You have some, Christy? So just take note to what level you would give it on a scale of 0 through 10, 10 being extreme discomfort and 0 being completely neutral. It's good to do this. When I did this with this woman, this 20-year-old who had to quit college, and she was depressed and she'd gained weight and she had fibromyalgia and she had to quit college. And when I did this first session that I do with almost all my clients of the Essential Four, I asked her right before we started, and it's a stress reduction session, what her pain level was, and it was at a 6. And after the session, it was at a 0, and her fibromyalgia went into remission. So that's pretty cool. So let's do this. All right, you all ready to go into hypnosis with me? Go ahead and lean back if you want, get comfortable. Close your eyes. And on your next breath in, take a deep breath in and hold your breath in for as long as you comfortably can. And in a moment when you breathe out, give yourself the suggestion to relax and feel yourself relax as you imagine a sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head through your body to the tips of your toes. Do that one more time. A nice deep belly breath in, holding that breath in for as long as you comfortably can. And in a moment when you breathe out, you're going to give yourself the suggestion to relax and feel yourself relax as you imagine a sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head through your body to the tips of your toes. Now you can continue to deep breathe, you can resume normal breathing, or a little bit of both. Either way, begin to pay very close attention to the sound of my voice, as if memorizing every word you hear me say. In a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 10 down to 1. You just imagine what it would be like, what it would feel like to double your relaxation with every number you hear me say. Starting right now with the count of 10. Imagine doubling your relaxation. 9. See yourself relax. Hear yourself relax. and feel yourself relax and let go and drift down deep inside to a place inside you where things change, where things heal, where insight lives. Let 9 melt into 8 and begin to feel like you're melting right there into the chair. And then let 8 melt into 7. Engage all your senses and double that sense of relaxation. And then with the count of 7, begin to let go now, knowing the more you let go, the better you feel. The more you let go, the more in control you become. So let go now and let 7 flow into 6. And then with the count of 5, begin to imagine the most soothing, healing, relaxing energy flowing into the top of your head. Picture, hear, and feel a soothing, healing, relaxing energy flowing into your scalp now. Feel it flowing down into your forehead, your eyes. Even feel it going behind your eyes and relaxing the muscles behind your eyes. Imagine it now flowing also into your cheeks and your jaws. And you might want to open your mouth just slightly so there's some space between your teeth and your jaws are completely relaxed. And then picture and hear and feel that soothing, healing, relaxing energy also flowing down the back of your head, down into your neck and shoulders. So your neck and shoulders are now loose, limp, and at ease, like unstretched rubber bands. Now, this is the same soothing, healing, relaxing energy that I bathed on my neck when I was being guided into hypnosis, and it healed my chronic neck pain. So you can bathe this healing light, this healing energy on any part of you now as you relax even deeper and let go even more. And 5 flows into 4. And then feel that soothing, healing, relaxing energy also flowing down your neck and shoulders, down into your arms and into your fingertips. And then imagine it flowing into your upper back, your mid back, and your lower back. So all the big muscles and the little muscles are now so comfortable, so relaxed, and at ease. And then imagine that soothing, healing, relaxing energy flowing into the front of your body, into your throat, your chest, and your abdomen. So your whole upper body is now so comfortable, so relaxed, and so at ease. And then to relax even deeper and let go even more and transfer that soothing, healing, relaxing energy to the rest of your body, go ahead and swallow down, because that swallowing relaxation response can relax you even deeper as you now imagine that soothing, healing, relaxing energy flowing into your hips, into your pelvis. Feel it flowing down into your quads and hamstrings. Imagine it flowing in and around your knees, down into your shins and calves. And then let 4 flow into 3. Double that sense of relaxation. And now engage all your senses and imagine your favorite massage therapist is massaging your feet now, relaxing you even deeper as 3 flows into 2. And you double that relaxation. In a moment, I'll say the final number, and then I'll make a swishing sound. And when I do that, you can imagine that sound wave that we started with flowing through you, but imagine or pretend it can relax you another 10 times deeper and help you become 10 times more focused. So with that final count of 1, take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out, imagine all that tension melting away like an ice cube melting on a hot summer day. Good, very good. Now just allow sounds that you hear in the room or outside the room to relax you even deeper and fade away, making it easier for you to focus and concentrate on what you're doing in the sound of my voice. Also, continue to allow every suggestion that I say for your highest good to flow deep into your subconscious mind and make a deep, lasting impression in your subconscious mind so that from now on, from this moment forward, you are and you feel so much more calm, so much more confident, and so much more in control of your thoughts, in control of your feelings, in control of your actions and your reactions. As a result of this deep hypnotic rest, as a result of this deep hypnotic state, you are going to sleep so much better and feel so much better about yourself and your life. Imagine when you come out of hypnosis today that you feel this wonderful feeling of well being, and it stays with you for the next couple hours. And then picture yourself falling asleep tonight easily and quickly. Imagine yourself sleeping wonderfully through the night, noticing if you were to wake up, you fall back to sleep easily and quickly. And then imagine yourself waking up in the morning absolutely refreshed and alert and ready to start your day in a whole new way. Because from now on, from this moment forward, you have a natural habit to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. And as a result of you focusing and thinking about more about what you want, you naturally and easily feel more calm. You feel more calm in this moment and you feel more calm from this moment forward. And as you recognize who you truly are and you focus on and think about what you want, it's easier and easier for you to trust the path that you're on, to trust the process of life, to trust the universe. From this moment forward, it's just easier and easier for you to efficiently recall all the knowledge that's within you. And you, from this moment forward, speak your truth with love and clarity. It's easier for you from this moment forward to communicate from the heart and communicate efficiently, effectively from the heart. That's right. And as a result of this deep hypnotic rest, it's just easier for you to get focused, to be focused, and to experience deeper and deeper levels of confidence. And the way you do this is because you are now focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want, even what you like. And from this moment forward, you write about what you want. And this is the greatest gift you can give yourself and each other and the universe, practicing these things. Now, every person who works with me privately has to sign an agreement that promises to stop self-criticism because it is one of the most profound things that will block you or stop you. And it is the most powerful thing because you always know someone has your back when you commit to having your back. Right now, I'm going to ask you to begin to heart breathe. So you can focus your breathing on your heart. This gets you out of your head and into your heart. And as you focus your breathing on your heart, just imagine or pretend you're breathing in and out through your heart. Imagine or pretend you're breathing in through your heart and out through your heart. Now, at any point, you can put your hand, one or more of your hands on your heart to help you to really focus on your heart. And imagine or pretend you're breathing in and out love. Now, unconditional love, universal love, breathing in love and out love. So love is in you and surrounding you. And as you imagine or pretend you're breathing in and out this love, you can invite your heart to open and then see, hear, and feel your heart opening. Perhaps like a rosebud opening to magnificent orange or purple rose, or like a door opening, tunnel flowing, or vortex spinning. If you haven't already, invite your heart to open, feel your heart opening, and imagine or pretend you're breathing in and out love, unconditional love, universal love. Now, to amplify that feeling of love, in a moment, you're going to become a time traveler. Think of a moment in your lifetime when you felt very loving or loved or both. Now, that memory could have been yesterday or many years ago. It could have been a moment where you trusted the universe or that you were petting an animal, dancing, holding someone, being held. You might have many of them. Just pick one that stands out for now. I'm going to count backwards. Each number is going to relax you and deepen you. When I make that swish sound, you're going to be back in that memory to relive it, to experience the real you. So with that count of 3, picture yourself time traveling back to that wonderful memory. 2, trust your impressions. Feel yourself going back in time to that wonderful memory. And with the count of 1, be in that wonderful, loving memory now. See the details, hear the sounds, feel the feelings, feel the textures. Rewind it, make it bigger and brighter and more lifelike. Immerse yourself in that love. Feel that love. You can rewind it and replay it. This is the real you, love. Unconditional love, universal love. Love is a state, an emotion, a vibration. And as you imagine or pretend you're breathing in and out that love, it's now amplified because you've connected with the state, with the vibration of love. Breathe it in and out now. Breathe it in and out of your heart into every cell of your entire being. And what's absolutely incredible about you focusing your breathing on your heart is that you are amplifying your heart's intelligence. You are amplifying a loving field that's spreading beyond your body. And as you focus your breathing on your heart with a loving intent, you can send that loving, healing energy to any person, any place on earth that needs it, even to yourself right now. You can imagine light coming out of your heart, going into yourself or someone who needs it, or some of our decision makers, so that they accept love and make decisions for our highest good. But as you focus your breathing on your heart and you invite your heart to open and feel it open and connect with that love, and you send that love, you release chemicals that make you feel good, and you increase the amount of photons of light leaving your body from 20 photons of light per second to 100,000 photons of light per second. These photons of light can heal matter. Send light to yourself. Send light to someone now. And then feel how good that feels. And make a promise to yourself right now to stop self-criticism. Make a promise to yourself to have your back, to be there for yourself. Make a promise to yourself to become your own BFF, best friend forever. And make a promise to yourself to learn to love and accept yourself more and more every day in every way. And as you think about that, imagine yourself falling asleep tonight. And as you fall asleep tonight, that's when you can be programmed, because you go through alpha and theta to go to sleep. And so imagine yourself going to sleep tonight, thinking of something you could feel grateful for, and saying in your mind now and when you're going to sleep, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And then imagine yourself sleeping wonderfully through the night. And when you wake up in the morning, imagine yourself putting your hands on your heart. And while you're imagining it in that future scene, do it here and now. And you're going to immediately, as soon as you come to consciousness, you're going to say hello to yourself and say your name and say, I love you 4 times. So go ahead and do this now. Say hello, say your name, and say, I love you 4 times. And notice how that feels. And then say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And notice that you're already feeling more confident, more trusting, calmer. It's easier for you to communicate when you believe in yourself, when you practice, when you trust, when you're more focused and experiencing equanimity. You have everything you need when you completely feel connected to yourself and to something greater than yourself. When you get into the attitude of gratitude, you feel more connected. When you're in this relaxed and focused state, you feel more connected. When you heart breathe with your eyes open or closed, you feel more connected. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. When I get to 5, you'll hear a swishing sound. You'll open your eyes in the present moment, more energized, relaxed, happier, confident, courageous, peaceful, and trusting your path. Starting right now with the count of 1, take a big, deep energy breath in. 2, speeding up with a wonderful feeling of well-being. 3, into the present, into a new way of thinking and being and feeling. 4, speeding up with that confidence, energy, focus, and with the count of 5, open those eyes. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I would love for you to write what you're feeling in the chat right now, like relaxed, comfortable, lighter, ease, calm, or anything else you want to share about your experience. Good, relaxed. Yeah. Glowing with love, ease, and abundance. Nice. Incredibly relaxed. Feeling very relaxed and calm. Yes. Excellent, you guys. Did you guys like the heart breathing? Yeah. You can do that, right? You can do that with your eyes open or closed. And did you notice how I delivered some of the suggestions as well? And some of you may have imagined yourself feeling those feelings, like how you show up when you're connected, how you show up when you're communicating clearly, how you show up when you trust, when you're calm. That's always good for you to imagine, to mentally rehearse, to vividly imagine what it is you want with a great feeling. So even while we're talking with our eyes open, you can imagine what you look like and sound like and feel like when you're calm, when you're confident, when you're trusting. There's an image, there's a thought, there's a feeling. You can get it now. Okay. So that's hypnosis. That was a quick version, but sometimes it takes very little to get people to have an incredible experience, like very little time. Christy, is your body feeling better?
Yes, totally better. And also, I just need to say this really quick, Randy. I live in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's the swamp. And I was outside, even with mosquitoes all around me. They wouldn't touch me. I felt them on my face. And then I just told myself, I'm like, okay, stop. And I brought myself back to your voice. So it's the first time I've been hypnotized outside in mosquitoes and haven't gotten bit one time. So you're amazing.
And so are you, my dear. Thank you. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. Anyone else want to share anything? You're all good?
I feel like even our cats are really zoned out.
Yeah, it's true. One of them started purring as soon as we started the heart breathing.
Oh, very cool.
He's right here.
Wow. Okay, so you guys, we have a few more minutes and I want to share with you, like, so how many of you learned something new today? Yeah. And how many of you were reminded of something you already knew but weren't using and now you're going to use? Yeah. And how many of you would like me to show you even more how I can help you even more? Okay, cool. So there's a couple things that you guys can do. As you know, I have a school, or maybe didn't, and people I train people to become certified essential for hypnotherapists and use this stuff. Nancy went through it, Christy's gone through it, and it's there's a level 1 training, and there's a lot of that starts June 21st. But that's not really what I'm going to be talking about. That is really a deep dive. So if you're somehow interested in wanting to become an Essential 4 certified hypnotherapist, you want to reach out to me, set up a student discovery call so we can talk about it, because there's a lot of different options, and I want to share with you like all the different things. But what I want to share with you today is that I'm offering a 3-day foundational hypnotherapy training. That's part of the 6th day of the level 1, and it starts on June 20th. And it's so cool being a hypnotist or learning this, but the 3-day it's such a great investment, because you learn incredible new skills. I'm going to share with you my screen. And you don't have to, when you become a hypnotist, you don't have to buy all kinds of equipment. You don't even necessarily have to have an office. You can do it out of your home or on Zoom, but you don't have to buy, very expensive equipment or anything like that. But I want to share with you that the foundational hypnotherapy and NLP training. Any of you guys heard of NLP before? So it's neuro linguistic programming, and it's a great bridge. It's a great thing to do with hypnosis. So this is a 3-day training that's coming up, and I have some special gifts for you that I want to share with you. And this is what's going to happen. You're going to gain in-depth knowledge on these key topics and the misconceptions of hypnosis. So I'm going to share with you, but we're going to dive deeper into scientific studies about hypnotherapy and suggestions, mental rehearsal, and the placebo. You're going to discover the many ways people take in information and exactly how to know and use this information to best communicate to people. You're going to learn how to create rapport and connection with people so that you can communicate clearly and help people, whether it's people in work or in any other setting like family or friends. I'm going to teach you, Christy knows these, and we love these experiential and enlightening exercises that demonstrate the power of the mind. So you can do these exercises with people and they're like, oh my God, I see your point. Oh, we are, mental rehearsal and practicing in our minds and using our mind to imagine things. You're going to learn how to create a hypnotic induction and how to program people in the hypnotic state, as well as how to create suggestions in and out of the hypnotic state to ensure acceptance. And of course, how hypnotists hypnotize you. The laws of the mind, those are so fascinating. And neuro-linguistic programming. This marriage is of hypnosis and NLP. Like neuro-linguistic program, you don't have to be in a hypnotic state to do NLP, but everything you do in a hypnotic state is you do better. So I always incorporate the strategies, the concepts, the presuppositions. There's so many different techniques. I'm very technique oriented when I hypnotize people, because it helps people do something, especially if you're super analytical. It gives you a way to focus your mind on something and make change. And then it demonstrates the change to the client. So you're going to learn all of these, also how to hypnotize yourself. We'll dive into beliefs and values and a lot of this science of how and why to set intentions. So here's why I'm bringing this up. So you can become a certified Essential 4 hypnotist. That's fine. But if you're not sure, or if you want to become a hypnotist, but you want to learn these skills and have these tools in your toolbox, you can join for 3 days. And the really cool thing about this is that it's it's a really good investment. So it's $597 for the 3 days. It's usually 1,500. So so I'm like, okay, what can I do for people for showing up here? So you can invest. So here's what I'm going to do. If you want to do this, you can reach out to me and we can talk. But if you do it by Saturday, I'm going to offer you a free coaching call with me and hypnosis audio. As long as you do invest or reach out to me by Saturday, you can get the free coaching thing, which is also, worth something too. And I can help you make a breakthrough or make a decision. Christy and I do that a lot together, but it's really, really powerful. I mean, Christy, do you want to say anything, or Nancy, you want to say anything, to share with them?
Sure. I can't, I'm on my phone, so I can't see everyone. I will say first, Randy did not ask me to be on this call. However, anything she's doing or putting out, I am always going to be around because this woman is amazing. She is a goddess. She's not only great at what she does, she is the best hypnotherapist or hypnotist I have ever worked with. I've trained hypnotist for 10 years now, or going on 10 years. And I'll be honest, I have learned everything. I've just upgraded. It's like Randy is the most current out there. She's a really great um I find, Randy, you're really great with, a tiny bit of woo woo for people who accept that, and then really great with science too. So perfect marriage for me. I'm not saying everyone is, perfect for everyone, but Randy is going to be the closest to it. So if you're studying with anyone and you want to understand, and you want a teacher who will teach and answer questions and encourage questions, don't go anywhere. Stay right here. Enlightened living is the way to go.
Thanks, Christy. Appreciate that. Yeah. Anybody have any questions? You can set up a student discovery call. Nancy, will you put that in the chat? Like if you go to my website, there should be, and even on that foundational page, you can just click that and set that up. But um, it will be a game changer for you personally and professionally if you just do the 3 days. Of course, you'll probably want to do more, and we can talk about that. But the 3 days, you are going to learn unlimited techniques and how to communicate and how to establish rapport, to connect with people. Because when you establish rapport, that's how you can really make change with people, and they experience benefits. I have so many people. I've had plenty of people have come to me over the years and they're like, oh, I can't be hypnotized. This other person tried it, but then they're coming to me anyway. And I was like, well, did you feel comfortable with the person? And they would say no. So, and then I have friends who live in my community. I live in a little community. And so we know each other, and they'll come and they'll be anxious uh, until I start hypnotizing them. And as soon as I hypnotize them, that anxiety is gone. People, it can stop panic attacks, and how you say and what you say to people can increase their pain, decrease their pain, increase their joy, decrease their joy. How you communicate with people. Christy, yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'd like to just say one more thing. It's on my heart to come out. I just want to tell anyone who's going to listen to this recording that I almost lost my job 3 or 4 weeks ago, because my core value is honesty. I didn't know this about myself. Randy helped me to figure this out. And I went from almost losing my job to getting hooked up with um, a national expert in subconscious behavior who wants me to coach with her, and also even doing some Tony Robbins things, which I have never in a million years would have ever thought about that. But I seriously went from crying my eyeballs out, panic attack, wondering if I let everyone in like corporate America down. I worked for physicians for 20 years. So this was a lot. There was a lot of, a lot weighing me down in the sub. And I called Randy and she made time for me because I was in that much of a bad way. And this one session, it's like I came out shining like a new nickel. Literally had, and also have been called about working with an NBA member, or somebody who wants to get into the NBA who is trying to, and then also being flown out to a Sandlot baseball something or other for women in leadership. All of this happened within the last 3 weeks, right after our session. So when I tell you, Randy, I appreciate you more than you will ever know.
Oh,
You are amazing, and this work flows through you, and really she means it. So thank you so much, and I feel it. I'm going to stop talking, but I had to share that.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. And that Christy is open to working on herself and switching from the negative to the positive, and then attracted all these things into her life, right? Because she's open to learning and healing and growing, and right. So we're all congruent with that. So we have a couple more minutes. I can take a couple of questions left, but if you're interested in why don't we put my email? I think you guys have my email, randylight@gmail.com, randylight@gmail.com. And then my phone number is 219-929-8726. So definitely go to my website, randylighthypnosis.com, or reach out to me, because for $597 you get 3 days of training, and during that training you are going to get hypnotized. You are going to be able to heal your history, starting the process of healing that history and becoming a better version of yourself. So not only do you get to work on yourself, but you also get to learn how to do this, and how to create suggestions and rapport and communicate and hypnotize, and NLP techniques, and all these things can help you in your life. So I always encourage that. Of course, you can also reach out to me to do private sessions and coaching, but you might as well consider that. And also remember that you get a free coaching call with me and a free hypnosis session if you do it by Saturday. Okay, and it's $597 for that. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions? Or want to say anything? So you can put in the chat or say 1 or 2 or 3 words that sums up your how you want to, your experience today of the whole thing. 1, 2, or 3 words. Either say it, unmute your guys' self, or put it in the pure love. Thank you.
I went with love. Ah, nice.
Sandy, do you want to say anything?
She said, grateful for your time.
Oh, and Rob, Miriam,
Oh,
inspired. I got it now. Grateful.
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. Inspired.
Cool. Yay. All right. Well, I did it. We're only 1 minute past. If you click on the links that are in the chat, if there's any links in the chat, then it'll open up in your browser and you'll have it for later. So peace, love, happiness. I love you guys. Thanks for showing up, and have a great rest of your night and sleep and all that stuff. And mwah. Take care, everyone.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.